everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. So the project I have for you today is especially for those of you that are in card club. If you're not in my card club, I will take just a second to tell you what that is. So it's a subscription service, and I do it through PayPal. So PayPal handles all of that for me. So you just sign up once. Once you've signed up, then you don't have to do anything again as far as signing up. It just PayPal does it. I don't even do it. They take all of your payment information. And then unless you ever want to pause it or cancel it, then you just go back and my watch is going off. Then you just do that through them. So it's $38 a month. It's the cheapest thing that I normally offer unless you just get videos, but this one does have product with it. So every month we do 6 projects together. So we do 3 projects and you do 2 of each. So you get the supplies for 6 projects. So one of them you always get to see. So you have seen the first one that the girls will get this month. So this is the first project that they'll do. There is a little bit of a substitution on it. And then I'm going to show you an alternate that uses the supplies that they get. Because the stamp set is an add-on. So if they already have something similar, if it's not their style, then I will always show another one. And then every 3 months, which is actually coming up next week, I Zoom with them. And then I take the supplies that have accumulated over the last 3 months and I will show them some more alternates. So this coming week, we will Zoom together, and if they can't make the Zoom call, then I'll just send them in an email. So I'll use different stamp sets with the supplies that they have gotten the last 3 months. And then every 6 months that you're continually in the club, that following 7th month, they get a loyalty reward that's valued over $25. So they're going to get a bag and it'll be filled with stuff. So it's super fun to do that. So as part of the $38, it includes your shipping and then a full to half pack of cardstock, depending on which paper that we go with, and usually a full spool of ribbon and a full package of embellishments, and then 6 envelopes. And then the supplies, like the cardstock and any die cuts or anything, you don't have to have a die cut machine that you would need to complete the projects. So I have a spare pack from December. So in December, they got a half a sheet of the Beauty of the Earth. Here were their supplies to make their 6 cards in here. And I will be taking these out to make the alternate supplies coming up for this week. And I do, because I have girls all over the US that do it. So I do an earlier morning one and then a later evening one, so I can get you all in, and they're different projects. And then they got a full package of the basic pearls, and then they got a full spool of the crinkle ribbon, and then they got their envelopes, and then they get the video that everybody gets to see, and then there's a private video. And also sometimes in the private video I show them, like, they may see past Try It clubs. They may see some projects from past classes that are just perks for those. So for this one, this month, when they add on the stamp set, if they choose to, they can get the flowing flowers. And as a perk of being in club, when you add that on by the 10th of the month, that's the month that you always have to be subscribed. Like if you want to do January's, you have to be subscribed by January 10th. And then they can add this on for $25. So they don't have to pay shipping or handling or tax. And as long as they've added it on, it ships with their club, and it's just $25, just catalog cost. And then I also have an adhesive package. So what I'm going to show you today is this card. So like when they get their packet of stuff, they will have enough supplies. They'll have this twice, because this is what makes this card twice. And then this is in their paper packet, because we're getting the Heart and Home. They get a half pack of Heart and Home this month. They were supposed to get this ribbon, but it went on back order. Well, unavailable, just because there's shipping issues right now before the catalog even started. So I picked it, and then the day that the catalog we could order, it was not available. So we're gonna go with this ribbon, which actually this paper has Midnight Muse in it. So it works really well with the paper. And then I'll show you in this card how to make this color of ribbon. This is Petal Pink work. So I'm going to show you an alternate project, and I'm going to do a little bit of a how-to on this video as well, because I am going to use the Daffodil Daydream. And at first I was just going to use the stamps, because you don't have to have a die cut machine to be in club, but I know most of my club members do. So I'm going to show you the how-to on how to assemble the daffodils, because I've already gotten probably 10 requests for that as a how-to video. And it doesn't really go into my how-to series because it won't stand the test of time. But it definitely does stand up to the test of this. And because the paper that is in the sale-a-bration, and I have so many things that I need to film right now, it matches the daffodil paper, which is free, and it is beautiful. And I will do another card, but this way you'll get to see it twice. And I just want to show you how well the daffodils also match the Heart and Home paper. So if you saw this card, I used, because you don't really need a whole lot more other than you would need the daffodil dies. So I used the Freesia ink, the Garden Green ink, and then the Papaya ink. So for this, I did add the Petal Pink ink because of the Petal Pink ribbon. And there's no blue in this card, and I didn't want to add blue, so I added the Petal Pink. So let's see how these daffodil dies go together. And then I'm just going to use the same supplies, other than the fact you would obviously need, it takes about a half a sheet of white cardstock or whatever colored cardstock that you're going to use to make your daffodils. I've already laid them on here, so I didn't have to take the time with that. So this is all of the dies less these. So there's 2 framelits that cut out the images, these big ones, and then one that cuts out the butterfly, and then a little flower. I just didn't do those. So everything else is on here. Oh, actually, I put the big butterfly on here, and I'm not using them. I'm only using the little butterfly. So that's all of the dies that come in the set, and then it builds a bouquet of daffodils. You don't have to put all your daffodils on the card, but it does build 2 different kinds of daffodils, and then a bud, and then the little butterfly. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. And I'm just going to show you how to do it with the white cardstock. It's so super simple. It's a little bit like stress relieving. I'm going to try not to knock these all off so you can kind of see how they go. You can see that was just one cut through. So you don't have to roll them back and forth. In fact, you don't want to roll them back and forth, because if you do roll them back and forth, they're going to bounce. So I was hoping they didn't stick. So let me pull these all off. I'll fast forward this part of the video. Okay, so there's all of the dies, and I think, whoops, there's one right here. I think that they're all back on the plate. I don't think there's any of them that's stuck. And I just rolled them through once. So I'm going to color them, because when I did, where'd my original card go? I have no idea where I laid it down. And I haven't even moved. But when I did the original card, I used the blending brushes. I don't even see it. I see the other card. Oh, here it is right here. So all I used to color on this was a blending brush, because in December we did the Welcoming Woods, and for that one we colored with blending brushes. So I know the girls have started to get, there could be, I don't think there's any guys in the card club right now, but I know that they have blending brushes to color with. So I just opted to do that with this. So I'm going to take, you're going to break these up kind of into pieces to assemble your daffodils. It's kind of like the operation game, because you got to pull these out. So these solid pieces over here are going to be one color. Obviously the stems, I'm going to pull them out because they can be a second color, or the green. So solid, and then there's our butterfly. Solid. Solid. And these are like the veiny pieces. And solid, and a veiny. And a stem. And a vein. And one more vein that didn't pop out. And I think that's everything. And then this tiny little piece right here, you may have seen it in a catalog, or if you already have this set, maybe like, what is it? It kind of looks like a clock dial. It is the body to our butterfly. I'm going to leave it right there because I did not color that. I thought about getting a black blend or something out, but I didn't want it to be black on the card because nothing else really was, except this month in Card Club, the embellishments they get are the classic matte dots, and there's black. So I went with that for this. So I wanted the solid bits to be the lightest. So that's where I pulled in my Petal Pink, and that's going to make it match our ribbon. So I have my blending brush. Now sometimes I have, I do these in color tones, but the longer we've had blending brushes, the more colors I have. So this is a lighter pink one. And you don't need to do everywhere because this is the world of art. And so my daffodils have a white spot on all of them where I'm holding them with my nail and with my finger. You can kind of spin them if you want. If you want them to all be petal pink, you can. But I'm just kind of holding mine. This is the bud. They go together really easily, and you'll see how easily they go together. The first time I did it, before I colored them, I did lay them on top of each other just so I saw how the pieces went together, and then you separated them. But once you understand how they go together, they're super easy. So don't worry about having the solid color because nothing in nature is solid color. If you went out and looked at your flowers in the garden, well, there's no flowers in my garden because it is like 4 degrees outside. So there's nothing outside. I have some my Christmas greeneries that looked so beautiful in December. They're pretty much dead. So I have some dead greenery. The holly looks still like it's still alive, but everything else is dead. It was not planted, it was just cut. So there is my petal pink. And now you can see when I tie this on here, even though the petal pink's not in the paper that we're using, it will now match this ribbon. And then there's a whole lot of sides of this that either have the blue or that are just the grays because it's the wood. Now these right here, I'm gonna have these be the papaya, which is really just kind of a brighter petal pink. It's a cross between, it's not really an orange. I mean, you can see it here. It's a peachy color. Let's pull this out. And you can see how much brighter it is than that, which will be a nice highlight of color. And I'm just smudging it on there. Again, I'm not worried about it being all the way colored. If you don't separate them all out and you don't know what they are at first, you may think these are pieces, and you could probably figure out a way to get them on here, but you don't need them. So there's all of our petal pink pieces, or sorry, pale papaya pieces. And then just to pull in the color of the purple that's on here, it is fresh freesia. So I'm gonna get my butterfly to be fresh freesia. And I'm just gonna, I don't want it to be terribly, terribly dark. And then on my other card, I just kind of added some tone on here. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this, but this time, because we're gonna have a bouquet of flowers, on my other card, I have it flipped like this. This time I'm gonna do opposite. So I have a little accent of flowers over here, but my main piece is going to be wood. And I'm just gonna kind of clean my brush. So I'm gonna get rid of the freesia off of that. And then I'm not gonna even open back up my papaya, just whatever's left on here. I'll just kind of get that off. So it just gives it a nice subtle accent, kind of highlights that wood. And now I'm gonna goosh all those over so I can do my bouquet. Now, the nice thing about these is they're long. So because they're long, they're too long for the card design that I have, so I'm gonna be able to trim them off. So I can kind of hold the bottoms of them as I put the garden green on here. And then where I'm gonna hold it, I'll be able to cut that off. Because the first time I made the card, I colored the whole thing. So you don't have to do that if you're doing the card where your bouquet's kind of down. And then they were gonna stick off the top anyway. So I spent all this time, because I didn't want white ends of my stems. So I spent all this time getting them green. And then when it was all said and done, I didn't have to use it. Because I don't really want white left on these. But this all gets trimmed off to make them just a little bit shorter so they fit on the card better. So just color those. You do want to make sure that your buds up here are little stems go opposite directions, so you'll be able to have a flower go each way if they end up showing the way mine ended up. Because kind of when you build this bouquet on this particular card, because of the way I chose to do the ribbon, I didn't even end up seeing them. But on the off chance that you're going to see them, just kind of color them so they go both directions. Okay, and then just check your hands to make sure that you don't have green ink all over them, because you don't want green ink. So let's build. I guess it's on my table, but that's okay. The stamp cleaner takes it right off. Now I built my flowers with my glue dots. So just get your glue dots ready. So we're start with one here. And then it's easiest if you do the ones that are obvious. And once you've done it once, they're super easy. Because see, this just goes right on top of there. And then we have another one that does that same thing. I do have some, I have orange under my nails. You can see that now. Put that one right there. And then these that go this direction obviously go on these. Just like that. So as you create them, just kind of move them over out of the way. This one goes here. And then your bud. I love that on the bud they gave us this little piece right here is what you will adhere to the stem. And that one I do have on a stem. So see, super easy. They just match up, so there's nothing to be afraid of. Get that one upside down. Just lay right on top of each other. So it's all it's doing is kind of giving a darker part. Could not be any easier. Now to get the butterfly on here, it's stuck to my thumb. So just make the glue dot as tiny as you can. Get his little body. It's teensy tiny. Pick it up with a glue dot. And then he has like this little hole in him. So add that in the middle of the hole, and then that's where we're gonna add the dot in the matte black dot in a second. That'll cover that glue dot up. Isn't that cute? Okay, now we have these. Now we'll build them all the next level. So these two go with one of these. So put a glue dot here. And then kind of round those. So you can see how they go. And you don't have to do, like if you want a whole giant bouquet, you could do more of one than the other. So there's one. Super easy. Then this one over here, you need to have a glue dot on this piece right here. Oh, I have green on my nail too. That did not stick. I was looking at my nail. It's a little bit harder to get the glue off my nails, or the green off my nails. So you have this little piece here goes down towards the bottom. You put that on there. And the glue dots hold really well, so you don't have to worry about them falling apart. And then there's your more half, it's more like you're looking at it at a different direction. That one's done. So let's put this together. And remember, we're kind of recreating this card just with a different main focal stamp, or in this case, dies. So on this card, like I said, I'm going to flip this. So in Card Club, they're going to get 2 of these so they can make it twice, and then they get 2 of these. So for this, you take your adhesive. These will already be cut out for them. And you just roll that down. And then you just line this up. I try to get it up so you can get like a full one up here, almost a full one, and then leave that cute little stitch down the side. And then just take your scissors And just snip that and see it's almost another full one here. But if you have the full one at the top, that's the one you're going to notice the most. Now on this one here, I used my scissors and squished it up. Kind of scuffed those sides up. On this one, I'm not going to because the daffodils give us so much more to look at than just a flat inked flower. So this one's fine as is. And see on this one, here's my ink. On this one, I've filled out the ink a little bit more. And this paper is really pretty. You just don't need all those flowers competing with this bouquet that we're gonna add. And this is a 4 by 5¼ sheet. So when you're in Card Club and you're making this, you're just gonna cut it. I shouldn't talk at the same time I'm saying math. So cut one of your sheets 4 by 5¼ and then I just cut like 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches. I just sliced some off the side. Now this stamp set, the daffodils, you could use any greeting, you could make it whatever. It comes with this that says Easter blessings. I'm not quite ready for Easter yet. Really, we just finished Christmas. But so I took the Easter blessings stamp and then I just grabbed my garden green marker. You can also use washi tape if you don't have the marker and you just have the garden green pad. Because if you use washi tape or just some, not sticky tape, that's the Australian word, just Scotch tape, and just cover up the Easter and then pull it off when you've inked it. So all that's gonna stamp is the word blessings. You can tell we just wrapped Christmas presents because my husband does the wrapping and he always asks where the sticky tape is. So now it just says blessings. So if I still have it and I haven't used it and Easter comes, it can be an Easter card. But you could also use it for a sympathy or for birthday or just whatever because it doesn't have the word Easter on it yet because, you know, it's just early January. Not quite ready for Easter yet. When Easter comes, it will be also shower time because we're going to host a shower. I got a lot to do before then. So then to build my little bouquet, I just started with one of these and just added some adhesive. I'm just going to go ahead and do it on my table because then if it's sticky, I'll remember I have to wash it. So just add this and then pop this on, and you're going to go a little high. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. Like I said last time, I didn't cut them because I didn't know I needed to. So I'm going to cut them first. That way I can go up here. And then a little bit more adhesive. And just make sure that they're all kind of going in a different direction. If you look at the sample in the catalog, they've done one and they've run these through more than once. If I was going to do that and make that many on here, I would do it in colored cardstock probably and not color them all with a blending brush. Get one more on here. This one go the opposite direction. Oh, come on. It's stuck to where I stuck this stuff on the table. That's what happens when you stick stuff on your table. You can tell all the times I've stuck stuff to my table. This table's meant to be worked on. It's a work table. So now I have this. The thing is, when you have this much ink on something, it can get ink on you too. Now take this and just add some adhesive over the top. Grab my ribbon. I'm gonna start right here. And then I just want this to look like it's been tied up. You just brought them in from the garden or from the florist. And it doesn't even have to be neat. You don't want it twisted. But if you don't like bows, this is the way that you can get ribbon on the card nicely. And this ribbon, it's from the Horizons Suite. And then when you get back here, just grab another glue dot. So I'm gonna get my glue dot first before I cut it. Just add that there. Now we're almost done. So if you're interested in joining my card club, it's super fun. Just go to my website. I'll put a link down below this video if you're watching on YouTube. I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive here. Stick that. So you can see before, when these were long, these all came up here, and that was way too long. And then just kind of stick these wherever they look good. So that one does fit on this card. On my other card, it was way too high because of the way I started the whole shebang. This one, I do want to go... like this. This one could be a little bit lower. We'll make it work. It may hang off the card just so I can show you how this attaches. Maybe like here. I think if I put some adhesive on the back, we'll just force it to go up. Maybe. Maybe not. So it's just going to hang off the card for a second. I will fix it before I take the picture. And then get your little butterfly. And I put it just a word above the word blessings. And then as part of Card Club, you will have your full packet of these. The nice thing about Card Club is with the whole packet of paper and the whole spool of ribbon and their whole thing of embellishments, they always have far more than what they need to do the 6 projects. Stick that in there. So here is this. Same supplies, except instead of doing the stamp set, I did the dies. Here it is here. Just kind of, your flowers kind of go wherever your leaves end up taking them. I'm going to fix this, so come back to my website, look at the picture, and they'll be a little bit better organized. But if you're interested, then just head to my website, and then you do have to get in by the 10th if you want this month's. And then this month also, if they do opt on to add the stamp set, they're getting the Simply Marvelous, I think that's what it's called, celebration paper included, because it bumps their total order up over $50 when I get the stuff for them. So that's what I have for you today. And I will do another, at least one. I'll probably do more than one before, but at least one before the paper is gone for celebration. I'm going to try to get to it next week. Is going to be all about getting Try It Club and thank you, the VIP videos and all of this stuff that I got to get in the mail out. So, but I will come back and use this with the daffodil paper. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye.